You're watching Global News. I'm Miranda Anthasol. After a tough couple of years, Canadian businesses now have something new to worry about. Thousands of Canadian Pacific Railway workers have walked off the job because of a labour dispute. Dan Spector has more on the impacts a prolonged work stoppage could have on Canada's supply chain.
These Canadian Pacific rail workers in Montreal are just a fraction of the 3,000 conductors and engineers across the country now on the picket line after the Teamsters Union and CP could not come to an agreement.
The company, unfortunately, wasn't really in the mood to negotiate with us, so here we are.
The two sides have been in contract talks since September. Each side is blaming the other for the dispute. But as negotiations continue in Calgary with the assistance of a federal government mediator, dozens of industry leaders are holding their breath.
We are extremely concerned about the effect that it's going to have on farmers, not only in Canada, but internationally.
75% of fertilizer is shipped by rail in Canada, much of it going to American and international customers. Farmers here are now in limbo.
If our farmers are not able to get enough fertilizer, they're not going to have the kind of yields that we're really counting on this year.
Fertilizer Canada is just one of 45 business groups who signed a letter last week calling for binding arbitration and saying a stoppage could do irrevocable damage to Canadian supply chains. In the context of COVID, exploding commodity prices, soaring inflation, the union blames the company for creating even more insecurity, while CP says the Teamsters failed to respond to their last offer before the deadline.
It's work conditions, more stable work schedule. Obviously, like everybody else, there is the salary aspect of things.
The House of Commons resumes Monday morning after a 2-week break, and many industry leaders are hoping the first order of business is back to work legislation.
These kinds of things, like the blockades that happened at the various border crossings, these really undermine our reputation as that sort of reliable trading partner.
In a tweet Sunday, Labour Minister Seamus O'Regan pointed to his hope for an agreement at the bargaining table, saying Canadians are counting on a quick resolution. Dan Spector, Global News, Ottawa.